Hi, it's Megan here. Andrew and I have had an interesting question, and that is what technologies and what practices do we do around the farm that helps us be more sustainable in agriculture? There's so many ways to answer this question, and I'm just going to pick a couple of topics or it will go for too long. But we use our eyes and our ears and we observe our land. That's one of the key things we do, is we will aim to use, through observation, nature to naturally fix or to naturally do something. So this is our market garden. Well, it was, and it was so overgrown, we just couldn't get to it. The smart thing to do is to use nature to bring life to this soil again. Hey, and to dig it up. So, pigs are in here. I'll cut in what it looked like before. Good morning. It could be afternoon, but that doesn't matter. Just want to do a quick market garden update. It's currently April 2025, and we're about to move the pigs, the teenager pigs, into our old market garden space. Let them dig it up, go to town, and then we can reset it. The pen's made up. This was the old entry to the market garden there. Gone in here, absolutely demolished it, which is exactly what we wanted them to do. They've tidied up this spot now, and they are ready to move to their new spot. Aren't you? You ready to do some good work? All right. You pigs listening?
What I'm going to do, Pig, is I'm going to open up these two, take it down there, then you guys can easily walk through, and then I'll come through once you're gone and connect this up, okay?
You got that? We're going to open it up, pigs. You go through, and then you get to work. Now, these pigs are very used to moving. There's 9 of them, and they'll just make their way once they know the green grass is here. They'll have their mental block, but they'll get past it.
Oi, yeah, come on. Pig.
Come on.
There you go.
There's always a straggler.
Always one orphan.
But as soon as they see us preparing the fence, they know. They're waiting.
Can I have that now, thanks?
Yep. You take that now.
Got it now. No, let's go. Good girl.
Hey. Hello. Good work. Great work. An update on where they were as well. And this is what it looks like now. I think 2 or 3 more days and we can kick them out of here. We just really want them to get up these big roots and clear this section. I can hear the fence tapping out somewhere. What's interesting are these massive big holes they're producing, and they're not touching the lemongrass, which is good. That was it. It was shorting out on a piece of grass. So, look at that. Being that we're in thick black clay, definitely progress for our soil. Can't wait to see it after another year. This is the market garden update 3 days after the pigs have gone in. Good job. Now they have done exactly what we wanted them to do. We would normally move the pigs on a bit quicker as we move them through paddock to paddock, so we wouldn't normally let them get it as low as this. But they're fixing the weed problem. What have you done, Nala? Come on. They've been in here and completely cleared it out for us. They've done a brilliant job. Hello, hello. And tomorrow they're going to be moved down here to the end, and they're going all the way back down along the fence line until 3 months' time when they'll go to market. But they're going to do lots of good work for the planet first. Yay. Good job in here. We just could not have done that. We don't have the time to do it, but that's exactly what needed to be done. The whole market garden needed to be cleared out. And one thing that we think is, why would we want to use our time doing something which these guys do for fun? They love it. It's not work for them, is it? Where we can do many other things at the same time, they're doing their good work here on the land. So all the nitrogen from their urine, plus the manure from their poo, plus the organic matter that they've trodden back in here, Andrew and I will come through and reshape that for the market garden, hopefully ready for spring. You have to work to the seasons. In gardening, if you try to go against the seasons, that's when you're left with not many options. So we use nature. We use nature to treat most things, or to deal with most things on the farm. Nala keeps the wild dogs away. Good job, Nala. But this whole paddock we've got here, these guys over there were on there just months ago. So as far as regenerating the soil goes, that's what you want. The healthier the soil is, the less work you have to do. You don't have to, you save money. People think you have to garden and farm using chemicals and using equipment. That costs a lot of money. So the smartest and most economical thing you can do on a farm, and that's what we do, is to constantly find the best practice to do something, and to be constantly using nature. Nala, trying to talk. We take biological waste from childcare centres and we process that using nature, which is black soldier fly. That right there is a black soldier fly larvae. Now, They're the ones that are working behind the scenes, devour as much as they can. And what they convert your biological waste into is this. And we've created an educational program that showcases agricultural skills and the varied opportunities within. Nala, come on, we've got a job to do. Hi, it's Megan. It's a lovely afternoon. Andrew's out, and we've been asked a question: what practices do we do on our farm that help us be more sustainable? I could talk for hours on this topic. Anyone home, Nala? The practices that we do, let's just talk about one. We move our animals. So we don't have fixed infrastructure that tells us what we have to do on our farm. Nala, come back. I'm talking. We've got some ducklings growing up here. We have to keep them caged like this for their safety. We have big birds of prey. But when we move them, see what they're doing there? So they're fertilizing. So all the water that they're playing in, plus the grass they're eating, plus their poop, is exactly what the soil needs to grow health. So soil health is key. To be sustainable on a farm, the best thing you can do is to take care of your soil health, because everything else will be easier if you have healthy soils. So we'll use nature. The chickens do the pests. They work on keeping the flies down. They go in after the pigs and clean up. As you saw before, we use pigs to clear areas before we plant. And we use ducks to move around, as well as chickens. What are you doing? Ew, what have you found? What have you found? Dare I look? There's nothing there. Now we look a lot at waste, and waste is also things that we're buying in. How can we be circular? For a farm to be truly sustainable, you need to be able to manage your waste, to try and have as little inputs as possible. And wherever you're getting those inputs from, the closest they are to the farm, the better. You don't want to be relying on another country's supply of something for your farm to go. For example, seeds. You want local. So we use our knowledge in soil health to help us. Nala, if you just stay still for a sec, I'll get it off. Come here, come here. So we use our brains, we use our eyes. Now we use our eyes a lot when we're farming, and we're observing. So we're not taking action first. We're first seeing what is the problem, what could be a solution, and then look at what other people are doing. And we'll watch many videos just to see what else is out there and what better ways we could be doing things, because it's not sustainable as well to stop where you're at. If you think you've got everything perfect and you don't need any more input or learning, that's a scary thing. In the using nature, the way that people would have farmed 100, 200, 300 years ago I think, look at that, people were healthier. Yes, they didn't know as much, and there was a lot of other issues, but our food system, where are your babies, Elsa? Who? Okay. Our food system has led to the food we're currently eating being not very nutritionally dense. The food system the way it is, it's part to blame for a lot of health issues. The way people grow their food is actually one of the key factors which is affecting people's health and well-being. So if you go back to when food was healthier, look at how they farmed, and we've got the bonus perk, hey Elsa, we can use modern day technologies such as this solar electric fence. The whole thing is, it's adaptable. So with adaptable paddock grazing, you're regenerating the soil. So Elsa was here before, and before that she was over here. Now we've just used nature. Look how great this looks. And we've gone into where she's had her wallows and her water and planted some trees. Because down in these pits that the pigs make, we've observed that it stores water really well. So we come in behind and we plant some plants. Because the way this land was used before means that there's not very many trees on it. So we use the pigs' wallows that they naturally make to dig holes, and they've already pre-watered, and that all stores into the soil, and then the tree grows nice and healthy. So we make connections. So farming the way that we farm, we look to how did people used to do it, how are people doing it now, what is the most economical and the best way to keep the animal in the way that they're happiest. Or if it's not animals, what's the best way to grow? And at the end of the day, it all comes down to soil health. If you're able to see the two movies, Kiss the Ground and Common Ground, you will get to see a great display of how regenerating the soil helps our planet. Nala, I'm nearly done. Come on. Nala, come on. So this is where Elsa is. She's about to move again. And she's got, I think, 7 piglets. Now, they're off free ranging at the moment because they're bratty and they're fitting underneath the fence. But we know that's always the case with little piglets. Once they get a bit bigger, then it stops happening. So this is the energizer we use. So we keep the animals outside in a natural way, and we're able to move it using the technologies that we have. And those technologies help us be sustainable. Because we could not contain the pigs and move them if we didn't have the electric fencing system. Well, it definitely would not be as easy. And I dare say we'd spend a lot of time chasing livestock. All right, Elsa, you get your kids in line. Pig, pig! Maybe we'll go for a walk, see if we can see the piglets. We get rid of our waste, as well as waste from childcare centres, using black soldier fly, and then we feed that black soldier fly through to our chickens and pigs and ducks, because we didn't want to be constantly buying grain that's sprayed with chemicals, and we just thought there has to be a better way, and then we found one. Now we're still setting that up, and we will use a lot of modern technology when we do that, and we'll update you on that. But that will be able to enable our farm to lessen its inputs, which is sustainable. We won't have as much waste, plus we're removing waste from other areas, and we've already diverted easily maybe 50 tonne of biological waste from going to landfill since we've started. So there's a lot to be said about collaborating, using what you know, but always learning new things. So we track the weather, because if you don't, it's not sustainable. You don't want to sow your cover crop seed and then lose it because there's no rain that comes through.